When working with digital audio, there are two audio attributes that you need to be aware of, and that is sample rate and bit depth. Both speak to the quality of the audio, and although the bit depth is probably a bigger indicator of the quality of the audio, the sample rate can really mess you up if you don't know what you're doing. If you select a clip in the project panel, which is what we're looking at here, we know that we get an overview of the attributes of that file up at the top of the project panel. And right here, first in the left-hand corner of the attributes at the bottom is the sample rate. Here it's 44,100 hertz. You see, the sample rate refers to how many samples were taken of the audio per second. Audio is made digital by taking snapshots of the audio wave file at a certain amount of times per second, measured in hertz. And so 44,100 hertz means there's 44,100 samples taken per second. This is a very common sample rate for CD quality audio. And if we go to this video here, we'll see that the sample rate is 48,000 hertz. Now, this is often abbreviated as 48 kilohertz rather than 48,000 hertz, and this is often abbreviated as 44.1 kilohertz. But the thing is that in Premiere, it's not really that big of a deal. Premiere has this magic thing that it does where it automatically makes everything into alignment with the sample rate of the project, or of the sequence, I should say. And we specify the sample rate of the sequence when we create a new sequence. As you see here, when we create a new sequence, we can't really see the sample rates here on the left-hand side in the presets in the HDV ones. But if you go over here on the right-hand side, you can see that audio settings, the sample rate is 48,000 samples per second, which is basically 48 kilohertz. Some of the NTSC presets, you'll have the sample rate listed right here in the preset. So once you specify your sample rate for the sequence, then Premiere does a good job of getting everything kind of in balance. But you need to be aware that not all programs do that. Some programs can't mix sample rates. So when I was doing the music video for this rap group, for example, they had all of their stuff at 44.1 as the sample rate because that's CD quality audio. But most video works at 48K as the sample rate. And so again, in Premiere, it's no big deal, but when you start mixing those together in other programs, if you have to export to audio for maybe some sound design or whatever, you want to make sure that you're using a consistent sound rate. Oftentimes when you're working in a recording studio, you might use something higher than 48K. You might use 96K. That's kind of becoming very popular for the recording industry now. And so if you can help it, try to get everything that you do on the same page as far as sample rate goes, especially if you're going to export the audio. If you're just going to be working in Premiere natively and that's all you're going to be doing, you're going to export the final cut from Premiere, then you kind of don't need to worry about it, but it is something just to be aware of.